So I said, no, no, no. This might be a good lesson for a lot of you. I said, no, no, no. I said, whoever wants to meet me from your family, have them come to me. And so, you know, gradually, you know, her sister came, her two sisters came, and I started meeting the family. And then ultimately I did go there. But by that time, I didn't feel like I was a pheasant on the glass. I had some, you know, some already some exposure to the family. So, it was good. So anyway, uh, I told her, I said, look, I said, I tell you what I do. I said, I would rent another room in the hotel. I said, I will let you have that room, for a week or 2 weeks or however long you want, for you to get to know you, for you to have some peace of mind and and I'll pay you your salary, your 7,000, so you wouldn't miss any money. But this way, you can, you know, treat yourself good, you know, and I wanted to do that for her. I wanted to make a difference in her life, whereas that she can get to enjoy life because she wasn't up until that point. So she said, okay. She says, you know, I will do that. But she says, I'd rather stay with you in your room. I said, well, at this time we hadn't had sex yet because I was not in any rush. I wasn't in any rush, to have sex with her or anything like that because it was all about getting to know the person. It was all about wanting to, you know, uh, 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 I wanted to be in love again. I guess is the best way to say it. I wanted to love someone again. I wanted someone to love me. You know, and um, um, so she moved in, and it was the funniest thing because I went shopping once and went to Robinson, and I bought some groceries and what have you, some canned goods and all this stuff. I had a refrigerator in there, and so I was looking for. I like whole corn, whole corn and everything. I get by a can of corn, and so I said, you know, where's the corn? You know, and she opened the refrigerator and she was putting the canned goods in the refrigerator, and I was like, oh no! I said, oh no! Oh man, is this what kind of ride this is going to be? She putting canned corn and canned goods, canned beans in the refrigerator. I know, and that was which led me to believe that she has not been really exposed to a lot. You know, so anyway, so to move it right along, I have gotten very far with her, and and when I met her sister says, "I'm going to blackmail you," So I heard it, you know. I didn't pay much attention to it. I let it go over my head. I filed that in the back of my mind and said, "Oh, you got a secret, young lady." One of those type of things. So now, mind you, she said she didn't have any children, but when I saw her, you know, nude, I guess, with stretch marks, I said, I'm no dummy. I said, I mean, you got stretch marks that last from here all the way to Timbuktu. And you're gonna tell me you never had a baby before? And so I said to myself, okay, if you want me to believe that you never had a child before with all them stretch marks, I said, I'm gonna let you think I'm that stupid, to believe and not call you on the fact that you have stretch marks. So anyway, so at this time, I asked her, if she wanted to get married, would she be willing to have a baby? And she said, yeah. And so, okay, so um, uh, I decided to start impregnating her, you know, uh, while getting the paperwork together. But while I was impregnating her, I kept it under my arm She couldn't go nowhere without me. She couldn't do nothing. She couldn't go to nowhere without me, because it was my way of making sure that if she did get pregnant, there was no opportunity for her, you know, to get pregnant by somebody else. If that could have been the case. So I kept the lockdown, and in the meantime, I'm doing what I'm doing, and we're going to get into paperwork and getting married. We already have like a you know we had gone through the process of getting married, but she couldn't get the paperwork. She couldn't get a birth certificate. She didn't know her father's name. Like this and what have you, and she couldn't get a clearance. To get the license and what have you, and then it was frustrating. It became frustrating. So anyway, about 3 months had passed by, and she took a blood pregnancy test and found out that she wasn't pregnant. So I said, something's up. So we decided to take her to the doctor and have an examination done and find out why she wasn't pregnant. And so it turned out that she was in premature menopause. I think that's what it was said. So come to find out that she couldn't get pregnant. So I said, wow, okay. So this one night, because I like getting up early in the morning, and I would, we go walking at night. Same thing I did with Mia, get up and go walking during the G hours. So we stopped over the bridge and everything, and we were sitting there, and you know, um, I turned to her and I said, you remember when I met your sister the first time? She said that she was gonna blackmail you. Can you tell me what did she mean by her blackmailing you? And she took a breath and she said, I'm married. I have 2 kids, and one of the kids were killed in a bike accident with the father. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, now it all makes sense. So this is why she couldn't get the paperwork, because the name and all that stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. We still stayed together until, you know, um, my American friend told me that I can't live with a married Filipino woman, and that's when I broke it off. You know, um, I had a friend who was the manager at Jen, who was at um, Dynasty Tourist Inn, and I had to come over for lunch. And so when she came over for lunch, I told her, hey, when you come over, I'm going to kick her out. This was all within 1 week, because I'm thinking that if someone filed a case on me, if I go before the court and they say, well, how long have you known that she was married and she lived with you? And I can say, Your Honor, when I found out she was gone the next week. And then they say, okay, well, then that makes sense. You didn't actually live with her knowing that she was married, and one of those type of things. So I felt out it was a safety net, for me. So Jen came over, and so, I gave her 25,000 pesos. She ate some Jolly Beat or KFC, packed the bags, and Jen and I told her I would give her 5,000 pesos a month for 1 year, till she got her life together. So this way, and she couldn't get a job back because she couldn't get qualified because she didn't have ID, to get qualified for. So anyway, so she ended up getting a place, and I ended up moving from Cebu to Dumaguete. And at that time, I was still paying her 5,000 pesos a month. Now, I wasn't going to Palawan it, which is like Western Union it to her, and let her go each month, saying there, expect she'll get 5,000. I said, no, you have to come to me. You have to come to me right here, and I'll put it in your hand, like this. And she did. She would come once a month, and to get her money, and she would spend the night. Nothing no, nothing fishy going on like that or whatever. But I gave her 5,000 and like this, and you know, that worked out for the whole year. So anyway, uh, uh, that was a story about you know a woman uh, who I wanted to have a child with but couldn't have a child with. And then I had another girlfriend who, she was determined to get pregnant by me. I mean, she was just, she tried to mess up my pullout game. I mean, like just like no, get off those type of things. But she wanted to get pregnant very, very bad, and you know, um, I just stuck to my guns because I knew that if I was going to have a child, I wanted to have a child someone who I wanted to be with. I knew if I have a child, I want to have a child with someone who I'm going to stay with. I'm going to have who I'm going to raise it. Now I've had stories about couples in the Philippines and children and things of that nature. But I know me that about making commitments. And so, like with Mia, I made a commitment from her when I first met her. Um, there was how do you call it? There was a roadmap in our relationship. Okay, if you get from here to here, then okay, I'll let you move in. Because at that time, I knew it was about a year or something like this. I knew that I wasn't going to just give up my freedom right away by having someone come over and stay or whatever. I wasn't prepared to give up my freedom. I didn't want to give up my freedom, or I just wanted to make sure that whenever I did tell somebody they can move in, it was someone who I wanted them to move in. So anyway, so so and that time came, and her and the kids moved in. And then once we move in, we got married. And then once we got married, she stuck to a plan, you know, to have a baby. So we worked on having the baby. And now she's pregnant or whatever. Well, you see, I have another commitment with Mia that I told her, when I first married Mia said, let's get some land and buy a house. Oh, I said, oh baby, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. It's not going to happen that fast. I heard the stories about foreigners trying to have land and buying houses and building a house, but you own the house, but she owns the land. If she chooses that she don't want you in the house, you can just say, get off my land. One of those type of things. So it was kind of crazy, So I said, look, if we are together for 2 years, then after that second year, you know, I will start looking at the possibility of building a house. And so we just passed the first year, and so I know I'm going to keep that commitment to her. Especially also now that she's going to have my child, that I'm going to once we hit the 2 year mark, I'm going to move toward that goal of wanting to buy some land and build a house for my family, which is only the right thing to do because I want to make sure that she and my child are taken care of, and her kids are taken care of, for the rest of their life. I guess if she has land. I mean, however it is that they, however way I said they, however it is she parlay is how she parlays it. But anyway, that's the name of that tune. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here because I think I've blah 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 you enough. You're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans of winning action. Never disrespect the elderly, always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see a vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you're too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, former lead singer of Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king and never say no. Okay? May you live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I'll never know that nice people like you have gone away. Don't forget to subscribe, bro, share, and hit that like button. I can't love you like a love song, baby. Peace. And that's from Frankie Crocker from WBLS New York FM. Here's looking at you, sweetheart. Ciao.